Stay tuned and let's check out this Marvel Legends Inhumans 2-pack with Crystal and Lockjaw. Pow and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. As always, my name is Dan W. Make sure you are following me on Instagram at It's Dan Who. And remember now you can hit that join button and become a channel member as well. Either show some love or join the members club. Much appreciated. Today we are checking out this Marvel Legends Hasbro Pulse exclusive 2-pack of the Inhumans, Crystal and Lockjaw. Finally, some new members of the Inhumans Royal Family to add to the collection, and we have never gotten Crystal or Lockjaw in the regular 6-inch scale, and it just makes sense to pair these two together. We have, of course, the younger sister of Medusa and then her loyal companion and protector, Lockjaw. So I'm very happy to get these into the collection. The packaging also looks very nice. So obviously lots of comparisons in this video, but there we get a picture of them on the back. I will be comparing Lockjaw to the Mezco version in this video, so stay tuned for that. But here we have the write-up that says, Princess of the Inhuman Royal Family, Crystal uses her ability to control elements alongside her loyal protector, Lockjaw. So without further ado, let's get them open. So here we have both Lockjaw and Crystal out of the packaging with all of their accessories on the table, and each of them come with a couple of bits for different display options. Of course, the main thing about Lockjaw people are talking about is the lack of articulation in his legs. Instead, they actually give him sitting interchangeable legs. So of course, we'll take a look at them. He also comes with an interchangeable jaw with the mouth and tongue open, as well as a different antenna to sort of demonstrate his sort of teleporting ability. Crystal comes with an interchangeable head, which is more windswept, more battle posed ready, if you will. Some brand new element effects that we haven't seen before in Legends, and then some more expressive hands as well. So let's look at these individually one by one, and let's start off with Crystal. So Crystal appears in her sort of classic Inhumans uniform with the yellow jumpsuit. She has had a couple of different noticeable costumes in the comics. I know a lot of people out there probably would have liked to see the sort of white Avengers uniform with the bomber jacket, which I'm sure we can get in the future. She's also been a part of the Fantastic Four, so maybe we can try some head swaps a little bit later. But out of all of them, I'm very glad we got the yellow jumpsuit. That is definitely my mind's eye from Crystal, and when we're completing the Inhumans team, this is the look we want. Now, she is on the Shriek pinless body, and she stands at about 6 inches tall to the top of her head. So as I mentioned, she is completely pinless all the way around, double jointed knees and elbows, and it is the Shriek base body. But looks very nice. The yellow is very bright, vibrant, and because it is just a black trim, it just stands out very clean. There is no sloppiness to the paint, and it's also a nice sort of element, as actually has that black detail on her sort of red orange hair as well, if you will. But the face sculpts on this are really nice, so that's what we want to look at. Let's zoom in. Hopefully this comes across as well on camera as it is in hand, because I assure you this is a really nice head sculpt. This is the advantage of the digital face printing tech. It looks really good. This is more of a neutral, sort of slightly smiling expression, as you can see the teeth just very subtly in between her lips there. She's also got the nice eyeliner, the nice eye makeup, and then her blue eyes, even though I think she has green eyes, but we'll ignore that. But anyway, hair looks very good as well, done in the orange, the red head going down the back as well. So obviously that's going to be a hindrance looking up, but she can lean forward a tiny bit. But again, the hair on the front will make that limiting. So yeah, limited head sculpt, but this head sculpt is more neutral anyway. So I doubt you'll be using it in any crazy poses. But once again, I hope this is coming across on camera. This is a solid head sculpt, really like it. So this is neutral look. We do have more of a battle ready pose. Once again, beautiful head sculpt, slightly different facial expression now. She's a little bit more mean mugging, a little bit more angry. As you can see, the frowny eyebrows, her teeth are not on show now, but she still has that really nice eye makeup with the lips and then the eyeliner, and the hair is up and out the way now, more windswept, more battle ready, as she is controlling those elements. So it will allow for some better articulation. Still got the black highlights, of course, on the red hair as we spin it round, and again you can see it's all windswept in that direction. It gets up and out of the way for sure, And yeah, does allow for better range. Definitely looking forward now, as there's no hair on the front to limit that. And then side to side, no problem. Still a bit limiting going backwards, but still, get her on a flight stand, she's going to look great. But it's all about the new face sculpt. Honestly, really, really solid. Two of the best female face sculpts we have gotten with this digital face printing tech. Really nice. Now you just have to decide which head sculpt you're going to use for display. More neutral looking or your battle ready windswept. As I said, both of them slightly different facial expressions, but with the same sort of style makeup. Really nice red hair as well. Very comic accurate with those black highlights and details. Really nice. I'm definitely going to mix it up occasionally. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Which is the better head sculpt? So let's keep the windswept on for now, just so we can have a look at the rest of the figure. So again, not a lot of details to show you. We've just got the black collar and then the yellow jumpsuit all the way down. Some black highlights with the black diamond sort of. That is sculpted, by the way, on the waist. That goes round to the back as well. Some more black details down to the black sort of boots, but they're not boots. They are just painted on. So there's no boot swivel, but you do get the double jointed pinless knee, which is always great to see. There is a thigh cut as well, hidden within that yellow jumpsuit. She's got the double jointed elbows, which do have a really nice range on this female body, so I am happy with that. Of course, the arms still go up and down past 90. They are limited though on the waist, as that is obviously the downside of the Shriek body. Aesthetically looks nice, but when you want to start posing her up, you haven't got a lot of options going forward. That's where that altered Black Widow body is really useful. But still, aesthetically, cannot deny she doesn't look great. Out of the box, she comes with a set of fisted hands, but we do get a set of those expressive female hands we have seen plenty of times before. Now, these will look really nice when you combine them with the brand new effect pieces. Now, of course, Crystal controls the elements, so we've got like a fiery effect and maybe a water or a wind effect. These are brand new, translucent plastic, and they just clip over the wrist. So what we're going to do is just take off the hand, get one of these effect pieces, and just slide it over the wrist like so. That is how it looks, and it slides on nice and snug, and then you can just put the hand back in as well, and you still get full range of the hand articulation. So there's a look at the fiery effect. Again, clips over the wrist, works really well, has a nice gradient up into the orange on the yellow, so I don't mind that at all. And I guess you can put that on either side, it doesn't really matter. Spin it around if you want the fire more over our hand than on our forearm. Let's try that with this side. So again, let's take off the hand, no problem at all. Let's get the water, I guess. Is it water or is it wind? Let's put that on the other way, or the same way, sorry, with over the forearm, and then put the hand on. And then again, it's a bit hard to tell, but it's like a watery, windy, translucent white effect piece. But when you combine them both, it definitely does replicate her sort of controlling the elements, or at least two of them. But anyway, it's always nice to see them try something different with the Legends line. So expect to see these a lot more in the library now we have them. But still, it makes sense for this character. You can get her on a flight stand posed up, demonstrating her power set in the collection, which I don't mind at all. Full comparisons with the Inhumans momentarily, but first let's look at her compared to some other Marvel Legends. We've got the brand new Black Widow, which does have the better chest sort of articulation. I don't mind them saving that for other characters like Elektra or Psylocke. I'm fine with this body being used with Crystal. And then we have Sue Storm with that terrible head sculpt. But the reason I bring that in is because while Sue was pregnant, Crystal and Johnny had a bit of a fling, and Crystal did fill that gap on the Fantastic Four. So I want to try this head on that body. And yes, it works. It pops on the peg, no modification at all. And that is an accurate look for Crystal from the comics. I think she wore a few different variants of the Fantastic Four uniform, but that is definitely a look you can have for Crystal. Now, obviously, I prefer her to go with my Inhumans, but it depends on when you were reading. But there you go. That works for Crystal. Looks pretty good on that body, but it hasn't got as good of an articulation scheme, that is for sure. Next up, Lockjaw. I'm sure this is what most people are intrigued in with this set. A character we have wanted in the Legends line for a while, and I'm glad they never went the Build-A-Figure route, as I do think doing it deluxe format means we're going to get a better product, because let's be honest, this isn't a cheap set by any means, so I'm hoping for some nice build quality here, and I feel like I'm getting that now I've got this in hand. Like, I can't show you on camera, I'm not getting my weights out, but I promise you he's got some heft to him. Definitely heavier than you're expecting in hand. A nice sturdy build with some nice sculpted fur textured detail throughout honestly looking really nice. And of course you get some interchangeable parts as well, as he has the antenna piece that can just come out of the head. You can swap that. He also has a swappable jaw, so instead of an articulated jaw they give you a whole separate jaw. And because he's a bulldog, his face has got tons of creases and wrinkles in. They've actually hidden the seams of the jaw within those wrinkles, which is a really nice touch. We also get some interchangeable legs so we can sit. So we'll check them out in a minute, but first let me get the tape measure out so you can see what type of real estate you need for this guy. So probably about 3.5 width wise, height wise just under 5 inches, and then full on depth of Lockjaw you're looking at about 7.5 inches from the sort of jaw all the way down to his little tail. So you will notice as well, the legs were the main point of controversy, as unlike Zemnu, who we recently got, he has no articulation on those sort of dog knee areas. He just has very much straight legs. He does have articulation on all 4 of the paws. I'll call it a paw pivot, if you will. He has a nice paw print on all 4 of the paws, then a hinge, and then a pivot on those hinges, so that will swivel on the hinge just like an ankle rocker. So the legs though are very straight, but you'll notice they are quite deep within the body, so it does allow you to sort of pose him in or pose him out. So same with the legs on the back here as well. You can squeeze them in. They can basically touch each other on the inside or stretch them out like that. So there is articulation outwards and also just regular as you would expect, like so. So there's more articulation than it first seems with the leg. There is also articulation on the tail that will spin and pivot on the hinge too. Head also can pin, you can get that in some really cute poses, to be fair. It's on a rocker, so that has got some movement too. So there's that pivot rocker. So there you go. That's the articulation for Lockjaw, and he has some nice sculpted textured detail throughout the body and different paints depending on where you're looking. There's all those 4 paw prints. He's got more of a whiter belly, some more shadowing on the jaw, a nice sort of black nose. Let's zoom in. Now they're not glass eyes, but they've definitely got a bit of a shimmer. Also the nose is a bit shiny, as you would expect a dog's nose to be a bit wet. The teeth are sort of sticking out the jaw in a nice colour as well as the ears flopping down. But we can remove that jaw like so, and it's sort of a peg and hole system, and then we can plug the other jaw in like so, and again it sort of nicely hides the seams of the face within the wrinkles of the pit bull or the bulldog. So it works very nice, and that is a more expressive pose for Lockjaw. Look how happy he is. What a good boy. So yeah, open jaw with the tongue sticking out, and apparently the tongue has a bit of articulation on, but I don't want to risk snapping it. But I do think there is a bit of swivel on the tongue, so you can go left and right maybe. And yeah, that definitely makes him look happier as well. And also you see that antenna, we can take that out of the little hole, and then we also have a powered up antenna for when he is teleporting the Inhumans. So that can go in like so, and now we have a teleporting antenna. So there you have your 2 options. I guess you can mix and match between all the accessories, but you've got open jaw, powered up antenna compared to the regular antenna with the closed mouth. Both look cute though. And then finally, we need to just pop off these legs, which again will pop off nice. So again, nice and deep ball joints there, which allow that extra articulation. They just come off like that. And then we can add these sitting legs on. So these are just sculpted in one solid plastic piece to allow him to sit more naturally. So aesthetically, it will look better than a figure with awkward articulation. They said it was something they attempted to do, but felt this was the better option. So there are the stumpy sort of sitting legs now as well. So I guess we have to try and get that posed up just right. And look how happy that makes him. He does look sweet, to be fair, and those eyes do glisten really nicely under the lights. And again, a lot more paint detail than you're expecting in hand as well, but he scales great with crystal, as he should. He should be big, and he absolutely is. So again, that is him sitting down with lots of paint details throughout the figure. Again, mainly nice sculpted wrinkles on the back, and the paint details are mainly on the underside, but still the face is where all the details are. But yeah, that is him sitting. Because there is a bit of a paw pivot, you can get his front paws flat on the ground as well, so we can sit, and that you can't argue that is sitting naturally. And if you're just going to display him like that, that's probably better than awkwardly posing him, but then you're just stuck with the 2 chicken legs. So again, they've tried to do something. I understand why. You may agree or disagree with it, but I'm not mad at it either. Again, I think he's going to pose up great. Now here's the Lockjaw comparison that I was most interested to see. A lot of people like me brought the Mezco Lockjaw to scale with our Marvel Legends to fill that gap in the collection, and as you can see, he did scale very nicely, no problem at all. To be honest, they're about the same height. If you look at them here, they are about the same height really. I do think the Mezco Lockjaw is a bit more chunkier, but in regards to scale, they're not far off. And you'll also notice the Mezco Lockjaw also had that same leg articulation scheme. And granted, it's a Mezco, people probably have different criticisms, but these have the same leg style articulation. He doesn't have the paw pivot like this one does. Yes, he has more of an articulation in the waist, like you can see that sort of break there, but did I use that much? No, not really, to be honest. So, yeah, this is going to be personal preference. I think ultimately no one can argue that the Mezco is probably the better painted, the better sculpted, the better textured. But that doesn't mean I don't like the Legends like that. I'm not trying to take anything away from the Legends. I think what we've got for the Legends aesthetic is very good, like really, really nice. Now, people are going to have to make up their own personal collecting decisions. Is this Legends version good enough to replace this one? This one's a little bit heavier, to be fair. And of course, this one had the light up eyes, but you can definitely get more expressions with the Legends one with those interchangeable pieces and get him sitting down. You couldn't really do that with the Mezco one. So I think this was a nice placeholder for a good while, but I think it makes more sense to display the actual Legends one with my collection. Just aesthetically will make a lot more sense. But for anyone curious, that is what you're looking at. They are them side by side, all the way around. That is what you're looking at. So scale-wise, chunkier, thicker with the Mezco. Obviously, the colours are a bit different, but in regards to articulation, they can both do about the same thing. So, yeah, you let me know in the comments, is the Legends one overtaking the Mezco one in your collection? Or what are you doing? What dilemma? And this is what it's all about. At least for me, I love adding new characters to teams on my display. Forever will building that Marvel universe in plastic. And today we add some new members to our Inhumans Royal Family. But there are still some issues. We have Crystal, Lockjaw, Black Bolt, his Queen Medusa, and then Karnak. Now, of course, we are missing members like Trident, Gorgon, and Maximus the Mad to really complete that core Royal Family team of the Inhumans. And it has been 10 years since we first got Black Bolt and Medusa in that San Diego Comic-Con multi-pack. So it's been a while, and to be honest, we now need new versions of these. It's been so long. So that's the dilemma. Ryan Ting did say in a conversation with Wade recently that Karnak was basically the first in a new wave of Inhumans, with obviously Crystal and Lockjaw being next up. So does that give us hope that a new Black Bolt and Medusa are closer than maybe even getting Trident and Gorgon? A box set at this point would be good, but I'm not going to argue. We absolutely need a new Black Bolt and a new Medusa. She's basically using her hair as a kickstand. She's on that old articulated scheme for the females, outdated. Black Bolt's on a bookie cap as well, really outdated. He could have an update too. So yes, we need a new version of Black Bolt and Medusa. But before we even start thinking about getting the missing members, but I threw up a graphic on my Instagram and used it on my live stream not long ago, just to give you an idea of where to get these and how long it's been between releases. But yes, we need Gorgon, Trident, Maximus the Mad, but we also need a new version of Black Bolt and Medusa. It's been so bloody long. And I know Karnak's not that great, but I'll allow it. I will allow it as long as you keep moving in the right direction, because Crystal and Lockjaw are great. Here we have Lockjaw compared to the Zabu Build-A-Figure from the Savage Land, of course, another animal style character we have added to our collection this year, and he has a lot more articulation in his body than, of course, Lockjaw does, but I think that's justified. I think a saber-toothed tiger is a lot more agile. In the comics, you see him jumping around, attacking people, where Lockjaw doesn't really need that type of articulation. So, again, I think this is an unfair comparison. I think they are both worthy of representations for what they need to be, but in case you're curious, that is your scale. So imagine if we got Lockjaw as a Build-A-Figure, he would have had to have been scaled down similar to Zabu to even fit in the box. So I'm okay with the format that we got it. So there you go, there's your comparison between the two. And this is awkward, as here we have Crystal compared to all three of her sort of main love interests from the comics. Of course, she has a kid called Luna, I believe, with Quicksilver. She also had a fling with Johnny Storm while she was in the Fantastic Four. And yes, she has even been with Ronan the Accuser. So yeah, this is a little bit awkward when all your exes are here together hanging out. But yes, here we have Quicksilver, who we're getting a new version in the green very soon. But I do think the blue is more accurate to go with Crystal. And then Johnny Storm, and then Ronan. So yeah, who you picking now, Crystal? Let's continue with a couple more comparisons. So here we have Crystal and Lockjaw compared to a regular Skrull and a Super Skrull. But remember, Crystal has made an alliance with Ronan, so we sort of need some Kree soldiers. It's been a while in the Legends line. Here we have a couple of different scaled bodies for comparison. We have the Renew Your Vow Spider-Man, and then I've put Vulcan next to Crystal, as I would take a Black Bolt even if it was just on the new Vulcan body. And here we have Kang in his throne, aka the Time Chair, just to remind you how big and imposing that's going to be on display. I do have a full review up on the channel now. If you haven't seen it, go and check it out. And as always, let's wrap up with some of the Who crew. So here we have Frogman, Tigra, Hydra Bob, and then last but never least, Captain Britain and Fire Hank. So, final thoughts on this Marvel Legends Hasbro Pulse exclusive 2-pack of the Inhumans, Lockjaw and Crystal. A welcomed addition to the collection, 2 brand new characters to add to the shelf, and we are slowly but surely completing that Inhumans Royal Family, even though I still think we need a new Black Bolt and Medusa before we complete the team. But these two are really, really nice. Lockjaw has been a long time wanted character, and I know this isn't a cheap set by any means, but I do feel the quality here. He's a good build, he's got some weight to him and some nice accessories to really make the display interesting, demonstrating both of their power sets. Of course, Lockjaw can teleport, that's where you can see the bubbles in the sort of antenna, and then Crystal with her elemental powers. We've got some new effect pieces with some really nice head sculpts as well. So hopefully we can get Crystal again in the future in her white Avengers uniform with the bomber jacket, as we have got a couple from that lineup as well. But I will take a Royal Family classic yellow jumpsuit Crystal first all day long. You let me know what you think in the comments below. Are you in on this 2-pack? Is the Royal Family of the Inhumans something you are slowly trying to fill out? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, if you like Marvel Legends, well, you are absolutely in the right place. Check out the videos tab, find the playlists, but most importantly, please, please, please hit that subscribe button, hit all on the notification bell, don't miss out on a video, and please hit that join button, become a channel member, either show some love or join the members club. Much appreciated. And for a bonus for the people that wait until the very end of the video, I appreciate you. Here we have a real life dog comparison of Lockjaw and my dog Teddy. Both of them are very good boys for sitting and behaving. Trust me, they got lots of treats after that. You can of course follow me on Instagram at It's Dan Who, and I'm on Twitter as well at Dan Who Reviews. And I will of course see you on the next one.